Hello and welcome to episode 69 of the Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast, the most mature gaming podcast on the internet.
Yes.
I'm Darby Holland.
I'm Jeff Mayo.
Jeff, how are you doing this week?
Pretty good. My sport teams all let me down.
Yeah, like
Spectacular.
you kind of.
Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. Not Carolina.
Yeah, no, that was a bizarre, insane game that Carolina won. So yeah,
I could not watch because I don't have FCC network.
Ah, dang. Well, me and Dad had to watch it in a Cincinnati bar where not a single other person cared about the University of South Carolina football. So
Fair.
They said, we can only put it on this one TV at like the very top. Like there was this whole wall of TVs and it was this like small one at the very top. So we were just sitting here like craning our necks looking at it and freaking out when no one else like cared at all. So yeah, that was one thing that went right. But you had it coming. I mean, you had the Cubs win the World Series. The Falcons did go to the Super Bowl. I know it was depressing, but they at least made it there.
It continued to be depressing. Everyone brings it up every 2 seconds.
I feel like you had some karma coming back at some point. A little bit. But we are a little bit late because my sports teams actually did pretty good this week. Because me and my dad went to Cincinnati to watch the Bengals and Dolphins play. And that was one of the craziest games I've ever witnessed in my entire life. Down 17-0 in the third quarter, and then 2 pick sixes. And Miami had a run back kick. We had a blocked punt a different time. It was insane. It was absolutely insane, but it was a lot of fun.
Nice.
And I enjoyed it. Bengals are 4-1, Jeff.
Well,
4-1. I have no clue if we're legit, but guess who we play in 2 weeks? The Chiefs at the Chiefs.
fun.
I kind of forgot about that one. I think at the beginning of the year it just didn't sound
You're gonna give them their first loss, Darby.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
My team's the exact opposite. They're 1-4.
Ugh. It's okay. That offense is good enough. If you can keep it next year, you'll be okay. But because I was flying and stuff, I have actually put a lot more time into a game that I should have done a long time ago. And that is Celeste.
Yay!
I am now in the place with the mirrors.
Okay.
So I'm like in the last few chapters of the game, I believe. Okay. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know how long those chapters are, but I think I'm over halfway, and I'm like a good bit into it. And I have a very ice cold take for you, Jeff. This is a game of the year contender. Absolutely. No, like it's like I've played this several times before. Obviously, this came out in February, March,
January.
Okay, never mind. And I got
the first game that I played this year.
Yeah, I got it like way back then and played some of it, but then just other things happened, and I knew I liked it, but it just didn't. It had not hooked me yet. Mm-hmm. But I finally had that like hour and 20-minute plane ride. I'm like, I'm gonna play it the whole time here, and it's probably a good sign that like when we got done there, we got to the hotel and like my dad was getting ready and stuff. We were gonna go watch the game. I'm like, I'll just pull it back out and play a little bit more.
Get a couple screens done.
A little bit more, and then just every night we were there in the hotel, I just pull it out and play it.
I guess the good thing about, Celeste, it saves or checkpoints at every screen. Yeah. So you're able to like do that, put it to sleep when you're about to go somewhere.
It's honestly like this game I would probably play a lot less. It would be worse if it wasn't for it has so many quality of life stuff like that where it's like it is so good for playing in like short little spurts. Mm-hmm. And you can like kind of move around, especially in different certain areas. Like it kind of changes and gets a little more open at times. But for the most part, it's pretty linear, and that's a good thing because it's like basically gives you levels without there being levels, because you can like you're like I'm like this screen is a challenge for me now, and I finally get through that, and then it's another screen, and it's like you're progressing through it that way, and. Really, I think it does take a few chapters of you playing it for you to start to realize, oh wait, they're not just gonna like keep repeating this stuff. Like there is always new mechanics, constantly new mechanics, and mechanics that like build off of each other in brilliant ways. Yep. And as soon as like it starts to become like, okay, I've seen this a lot, then it's like this whole new like it flips the concepts on their head, and it's really really hard.
Yep.
But it's not so hard that it discourages you. And right when I know all this is what you've already like thought in the past, and I know I'm an idiot. I needed to play this sooner, but
Tim Gates would be proud.
Yes. And it's just like, it's incredible. It's so addicting. Perfect plane game. I think all my Celeste time has been like planes and hotels, because I played this in San Francisco too. And legit, Jeff, this is like, right now I'm not even done with the game, and this is like definitively number 2 of the year for me. Definitively, without even a question. And God, I want it to be 1. I
feel you.
I want it to be 1 so bad.
You're exactly what me and Tim Geddes, including which games.
like Celeste was like made by this team of like it really doesn't seem like that many people. Like really just like 10 people maybe. It's like not that big of a studio. And such a surprise just sleeper hit, and it doesn't look like it would be. And just all this is like completely not even talking about, there's an actual like really cool compelling story in here too. And like the characters, like I feel like some of the moments in Celeste like are probably some of my favorite like story moments of this year in games. And this is like a 2D like platformer. That makes it like, that would never be what you would think would have like an emotional story, that I'm sitting here on a plane like like it's crazy. That game is truly special. I say like 8 months after it came out. Or 10 months after it came out, whatever. I know I'm like super late, but hey, I got there. I finally got there.
I still call Madeline and Towerfall.
Oh yeah, that would be perfect. But
you can have Battleline.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. If you haven't played this game, you need to play this game. I'm so glad that it finally got its hook to me, and like I'm going to finish this game probably before the next podcast at the pace that I'm playing it.
That's a long game.
And
you're gonna die a lot.
I think I looked, and this was like before I even started like this chapter. This was sometime before, so I've surely died so many more times than that. I think I was at like 1,700.
Yeah,
I died a lot of times, and that might be discouraging to some people, and it would normally be discouraging to me too in some ways, but you load back so fast, and just every time you do something wrong, it's very rarely is it a situation where like I have no clue what to do. Like, you know, you
know why you died.
You know why. You just didn't get the timing right, or if you don't know, you trial and error, and you like look at it long enough, and then something clicks, and you're like, oh, okay, this is what it's just great. Like the game design is absolutely impeccable, and I don't know, man. I think God of War will edge it out, but watch out for it, because like there could be some.
You're not even at the end.
There could be some crazy, like whenever we have our discussion, there could be some last minute changes. And
Will, or whoever's gonna be with us, we're gonna be like questioning God of War Celeste.
This is gonna be one of these things. Like one of us could probably hype each other up into Celeste being there, but Celeste is the way more fun choice there than God of War. But I don't know. We'll have to see. They're completely different games.
Yeah.
But have you played anything?
I have. I haven't got as far as I want to, but it's the nature of the game where I can't play it as long. Astrobot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I really want to hear about this, yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, how is it so far? I mean, the reviews were super, super good, yeah.
I'm about halfway through the game. There are 5 worlds. I'm in the middle of the 3rd world. And it's gonna be hard to describe VR games.
So is it? I'm trying to think about like playing the like little mini game. So it is. You're looking at the third person at this.
Yes, you're a little robot hovering.
Right.
And you are the camera, of course, because VR. And the robot even has a controller, and you're controlling Astro. Going around the world, collecting coins, finding the robots.
So wait. Is he controlling himself with the controller that he's holding?
No.
In the lore of the game.
No, you're a different giant robot. Okay. You even see yourself like they actually show you your robot like on Scooby screens. Like it's.
I thought you meant the little robot.
No.
Holding you. No. Okay. I was about to say
there are 2 robots, you and Astro.
Okay.
I don't even know if it's the official name. That's what I'm gonna call them.
Sure. Yeah. But I mean, so mechanics and stuff.
It feels really good. It's not the most challenging thing, which kind of makes sense because VR,
Yeah, and I guess technically kind of a kids game, even though kids aren't supposed to be playing VR.
Yeah. But they do some very interesting stuff with the fact, hey, it's VR with the camera and everything.
Yeah.
And, you can't move the camera obviously around, and you're moving in it's kind of like a rail thing, I guess, in a way, with the camera. As you move Astro, you move just automatically and with him, and you can't really go back.
Okay.
Unless you restart the level or the checkpoint or whatever.
Okay. So you're kind of more going on a direct path. Yeah.
And obviously, with Astro, you're moving, all which ways or whatever. Like, always at the beginning of the level, I look behind me, is there anything there? A lot of times there is.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. What would become just like going the secondary path or whatever, just normally, you can actually look at it. That's cool.
Yep, and there's one example where you're on, it's like I would call this probably the first level where a lot of people are like, oh my god, this thing's amazing. Well, I mean, people said that earlier, but it's like the really big one that people go to is, it's a beach, kind of a beach level, beach/underwater level. And close to the beginning of things, you're going down the beach, and then you suddenly see kind of like an island to the player's left.
Yeah. And
there's a path there, so you send Astro down there. You're kind of looking, he's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, because you don't go with him because it's to the side. So you're seeing it farther away, you're still controlling him and doing stuff, beating up enemies, while he's kind of like a little dot.
That's funny. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he comes back to you, and in that level, you go underwater. You get to see dolphins next to you swimming down.
Ah, that's cool.
You have to go through algae or whatever, or seaweed. And when you come up of the level, then you have seaweed on your thing, kind of blocking your view. And it reminds me of one of the things in there. Reminds me of this. They're like little eels that pop out. It reminds me of the Super Mario 64 eel.
Yeah.
It just pops up, but you're in VR. It's like, oh no, flashbacks.
Well, that's awesome. I mean, so it doesn't really feel gimmicky. It feels like this game needs VR.
Yes, I feel like it just justifies VR. I mean, I've always seen people after it's come out and leading up to it, it's kind of like, why does this game need VR? Why isn't this a regular game?
Right.
I can kind of see what people are saying somewhat just based by watching trailers and some gameplay. This, like a lot of VR stuff, and it's kind of a problem with selling VR to people. You need to play it to completely understand it, and that's the unfortunate thing.
Yeah, and that's what I've played enough VR with you, just like testing things out to kind of know that I can't just look at these things. I look at the video or whatever, and I was like, that looks good, but I know that there's gonna be, if there is that extra special factor, you're not going to be able to show it through these trailers.
Yeah, and I played enough of this, where for the most part, I can at least get when I'm seeing some regular 2D gameplay, from like trailers, I can at least get my mindset into it. Like, what's the idea of what it is, for the most part.
So, do you think this is definitely one of the better VR games you've played?
Probably the best. And I still got...
Best over Moss?
Yes.
Wow.
And I'm only 2 worlds in.
I mean, I'm pretty sure you said that you were talking about it on the podcast. You had very high praise for Moss.
I still do.
That's awesome. That's very, very.
And what's
praise.
great is Sony Smart. They actually released a bundle with Astrobot where it has Moss and Astrobot, the 2 games that come with it.
Oh, that's good. They know.
That's the one to get. But unfortunately, I don't think it has Move controllers. But they do a lot more with the levels, and I've read spoiler-free impressions of people on etc. saying, no, it just gets better as it goes on. And does a lot of crazier stuff. Like, there's a minecart level where the most part you're in a little minecart and moving around. And it's one of the best I've played in a while, just with the whole VR factor.
Nice.
It's hard to explain. Because a lot of what I'm saying is like, oh, it's just a normal generic 3D platform, but so much more than that.
But, I mean, everything gets better. I mean, just conceptually, I could see that being cool, like having a 3D platformer, but you have
the scale of it's big because you're going on these high levels and stuff and everything, and again, you don't you stay in place. You just go forward and stuff. So when Astro's climbing stuff, you're just looking up and.
Is it like Moss where you can put your face all the way down to Astro to the little thing,
if he's close enough, yeah.
Okay.
There was something in the underwater level where he swam too close to me and I moved or something, and he got stuck on my face, kind of like a thing. like he was stuck with thing and he kind of waved.
That's fun.
And I can't remember.
Cute.
I moved him and he got off.
That's cute. That's cute.
Yep.
Well, cool. I am excited to try this. You need to bring the VR over.
I think that would be a good Let's Play where I pick curated levels for you to try.
Yeah. That would be sweet.
Yeah.
That would be sweet. You should bring it over this weekend if we do something.
I kind of wish I got it for a physical thing so I could just let you borrow it so you could play through it by yourself. But
Yeah.
I got it digitally, so I need to give you my whole PlayStation.
Yeah. Would be a pain. Do you have Moss physically?
They have them physically, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, that is fine.
But again, the scale of it's great. Like you, it's a 3D platform, so I don't really care about spoiling too much as far as little things.
The story.
Yeah. You remember the trailer of Giant Robot?
Yeah.
There's one. Apparently, it looks like he's gonna be in multiple levels because I got to a level where you're kind of in the clouds and everything, and you're just jumping on things, going closer to the robot when he's facing the other way. And he looks, huge, but then you get closer and he gets bigger and bigger and bigger. At the end, he just runs away.
That's awesome.
Like, well, I'll be seeing you again. And the boss battles, in the trailer, you've seen the one with the gorilla, right?
Maybe. It's been a while since I've seen it. I'm sure I would recognize
the gorilla looks so much bigger when you're there.
I'm sure that's everything. That's like whenever I played that Last Guardian demo or whatever, I saw like other people playing it and it's like, okay, yeah, Trico looks big or whatever. You get in there and you're like, holy shit. Like this thing is gigantic. Yeah, that sense of scale you don't get in anything outside of VR.
Yeah, so I'll definitely talk it more as I go through the game because, again, I got a good bit more to go. Apparently, I'm getting to the good parts. Apparently, World 5 is absolutely amazing.
If you're getting to the good part and you're already saying it's your favorite VR game, that's crazy.
Now this is could potentially be a hot take. Ooh. If it continues the way it goes, I'm probably will end up liking this more than Spider-Man.
That's a hot take. That's spicy.
I haven't got to there yet, but I can just see it just where everything is and just hearing from people say it and where this could go because it is getting a sense of progression. They keep on doing new things in each level that are surprising me and wowing me. Like, this is one of those games where you feel like a kid just going in. It's like first time, not to the exact level, but playing Super Mario 64 for the first time, just the whole thing moving around in 3D and everything.
These are some pretty crazy words, dude. Jeff.
I'm not alone with it. That makes me feel great. These are the common takes for people that actually played the game.
Oh, it makes me excited. I'm just saying these are some crazy words, and I feel like it's my duty.
I hope I'm not hyping it up too much.
I feel like it's my duty as like a sleazy podcast host to title this video "Astrobot VR is better than Spider-Man."
I'm not there yet. I'm just saying it could potentially.
No, Jeff Mayo said, put it down, write it down.
I mean, just real talk. Depending how things go, Spider-Man may not even be my top 5 for the year.
I was thinking that too. Like when I played Celeste this weekend, it did go through my mind. I was like, well, there's another one over Spider-Man on the list. I mean, like just to make Spider-Man's it's gonna seem blasphemous probably how far down it is on both.
I think it's gonna be surprising on like when we hear end of the year stuff like Kind of Funny and Easy Allies, like how low some of them might be.
Yeah,
I got a feeling with Kind of Funny it might be a surprise for some of them.
And again, I mean, it's nothing against them. Just like last year, it was nothing against Horizon when I put it third. It's like in any normal year, that would be game of the year, but it's just game every year is insane now. Mm-hmm. It's like 2018 is maybe even crazier than 2017 as far as like.
Yeah, we definitely need to get together and do. Well, you just play Astrobot in general and do a little let's play.
How long is it around? Did they say? I can how long to beat it, but
I think it's like I think I've heard like 8 to 10, which sounds right. It's hard for me to tell. Also, I didn't mention this. I kind of mentioned this, but I'll get in each level. You're finding about 8 robots. Mm-hmm. And of course you don't find all of them. The way a lot of times you find them, you kind of hear like "help me" just around you.
Yeah.
And with my headphones, I can kind of get an idea which direction they're, but sometimes I can't find them. What I like is, at the end of the level, it tells you it tells you which robots you got like in order, so you know about where the robot you're missing is. Okay. So when you go back and collect them all, you're not just randomly around the whole thing. You get an idea. Okay, it's in between this one and this one.
Okay,
which is nice. And also, what's cool is there are chameleons in each level that are hiding, and when you see them and you look at them long enough, they explode. Just a little bonus thing, and when you do that, there's a challenge level.
Okay.
For each level.
Okay.
I haven't tried the challenge level, so I don't know if they're like different maps or just in the same map, but something's going on. I'll go through all those at the end.
Okay.
So it definitely is a game that makes me feel like I want to go back and get all the robots I missed. I'm getting most of them, so I'm just missing like 1 or 2 if I do, and get the chameleons and try out those things.
Cool. This is cool. I kind of forgot that was probably you probably were going to be talking about this game.
Yeah.
We both came in here very excited about this game.
I'm so glad Astrobot is as good as it is because I had that feeling it could be, but you just never knew.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
It's lived up to the hype. I'm hoping. Obviously, it's not going to be the best-selling thing ever because of VR, but I'm hoping for VR it sells good and does good for Sony. I've seen some people say, okay, I'm getting VR. Damn you, Sony.
I'm sure there's going to be some people. I mean, obviously, it's not going to, it's not going to be any completely game-changing thing, but I imagine that as people buy VR, this is going to be the, like,
this
you
is
have to
the
buy
top.
this one.
This,
like, you have to
this
buy
for
this.
Resident Evil, Moss, Superhot, and a couple of other. Actually, that should be a topic at some point or something where I
It's
just say the
here
top.
are the definitive.
Yeah, like
ones.
top VR is my experience list or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, Astrobot's going to be at the top, and Sony will be, especially the way it's reviewing and everything. Like, I don't think I've seen a bad review. I think the worst I've seen is like a 75-ish or whatever.
Yeah. I've seen mostly 80s to 90s. And,
Yeah, and more than 90s and stuff. I think I got back up to a 90 on Metacritic, but as long as PlayStation's doing PSVR, Astrobot's going to be there.
Yes.
It's people are loving it too much for it to go away.
Right. Yeah. And it's exciting. I'm excited to see you excited about VR game. Not that you were like not excited, but obviously it's kind of like a little
I got
sparse.
too many consoles to juggle.
There's too many other things that like you're not the only one. Everyone it gets kind of sparse with VR. Like you know, just with so many other things to do. But that's exciting.
Yes,
it's exciting.
Definitely need to play more.
Cool. So, Astrobot, play it. Celeste, play it. Celeste might be a little bit easier. It's just like a $20 investment.
Yeah.
Astrobot's a little bit more.
Yep. Yeah.
All right.
Weekend, I can get it over here.
Jeff, is it time for the news?
It's time for the news.
Let's get that news jingle.
Jingle, jingle, jingle.
We got a big one.
We do. We got a couple of... I just remembered one last thing for Astrobot. I want to get Olivia to play it. I have trouble getting into some VR things. I think like this could be the one.
Olivia has gotten super... I looked when I finally got in Celeste. It was the first time I played my Switch in a long time. Olivia is at like 60 hours in Zelda.
Nice. She kept on talking about she's doing more. I'm happy for her.
Yeah.
Proud of her. Okay, this first thing. Most of this information about the recon comes from Game Central, from Metro, and a couple little tidbits from John Porter from The Verge mixed in there. They give credit where credit's due. Okay. For years now, there have been rumors that Warner Bros. Is working on an action role-playing game based on Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
But there's never been much proof beyond a few ambiguous job listings. But now, there's this video. According to the Reddit group, Redditor's name is Vape This Bro, where it was posted. It comes from a focus group.
Can I just say that's been the best part of this whole thing is that it came from Vape This Bro.
So people have to read it on this.
It's the best thing. Yeah, these like every site has to say Vape This Bro. It's great.
Posted. It comes from a focus group in America and even has its own marketing blur, which we've copied, but we'll get to that. Last year, the rumor was that Avalanche Software, who made Disney Infinity, were working on the game based on a number of suspicious sounding job ads. And I added this. Last year, Avalanche put out an advert for a writer with a deep understanding of British culture to work on an RPG with branching storytelling.
And yeah, several people even back then said, like, is this Harry Potter?
Yeah. Okay, Avalanche Studio, Avalanche Software, sorry.
You already did it. You confused it.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Avalanche Studios, who made Just Cause, were bought by Warner Bros. In January 2017, but haven't announced a new game since. Makes sense. They just got out last year.
Yes.
They must be working on something, though, and a Harry Potter game seems like a good fit for their family-friendly talents. It's still just speculation, but here's the marketing blurb, which almost sounds too good to be true. And here we go. Set in the 19th century, or the 1800s, Wizarding World, this third-person open-world action RPG game centers around your character with unique abilities who has earned a late acceptance to Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. You are a newly arrived fifth-year student to Hogwarts that demonstrates a latent gift for magic with a unique ability to track and identify remnants of a potent ancient power. Upon arrival, strange events begin to materialize in the Forbidden Forest and trouble begins to brew within the castle walls. Together with Professor Elazar Fig, You embark on a journey through both familiar and never-before-seen locations to bring to light the truth behind these mysterious occurrences. On your quest, you will craft potions, master new spells, and discover fantastical beasts. You will battle dark wizards, goblins, and other supernatural enemies, and uncover the truth about your destiny. The fate of the Wizarding World lies in your hands, and here are a couple other features that more focus on gameplay.
Got it, Jeff.
Journey to Hogwarts and become one of 8 different wizard types. Experience Hogwarts, make new friends, uncover new secrets, and change the fate of the Wizarding World. Experience a new magic system that creates countless possibilities to master magic. Freely explore the Wizarding World for the first time. Choose your house and friends at Hogwarts and decide to pursue a path of good or evil. Create your own witch or wizard and experience all new stories separate from the books or film. Darby, everything about this sounds great.
It does.
Like,
yeah.
it's literally, I think, taking everything people want from a Harry Potter game, like the people in our circles, and just putting down paper,
put it right
and making
there.
it. Yeah,
And it's just, especially like, well, obviously this was I mean, this game has to be pretty early in development just because they like got bought in January of last year, and
so
you
who
just,
knows when we'll actually see this?
You just see like with the trend recently, when you think of like Shadow of Mordor and Spider-Man, I'm sure there's other ones that just don't come to mind, but those are the big two. And obviously, like the Batman Arkham games and stuff too. Of like,
so WB has a history with this.
There's like licensed games don't have to be crap anymore.
Yeah.
Like there's these companies are finally understanding that video games are something worth putting money into, and Harry Potter just conceptually kind of seems like it's perfect for video games.
Yep.
I mean, it's something where there's literally like everyone has magical powers. You're in the school where you can and it's not only is it perfect for video games, it's perfect for an RPG. Like the fact that you can create your own character and choose your house, that's great.
Yep.
That is awesome.
Choose pretty much what kind of wizard you're going to be, what kind of spells you have, all that kind of stuff.
I mean, like people will buy the mess out of this.
Oh yeah, this game, unless even if it is crap, which I have no reason to think it will be.
We've gotten crappy Harry Potter games in the past, but we're in a different time period.
This is a different time. This is a whole different thing. The fact is based on the movie or books or in any way, shape, or form.
Which is key. Yeah,
that's the key thing. It's probably if Shadow of Mordor and those games are any indication, and Harry Potter may not even be in the title.
No, and I think it would probably be wise for them not to, just
because that puts some expectations.
Yeah, just put any confusions out of there, and you kind of want this to be like it is a Harry Potter game, but we're also separating ourselves, and that's why
they put Hogwarts in the title.
Yeah,
Hogwarts is
just as
recognizable as Harry Potter. Anyone who knows Harry Potter recognizes Hogwarts.
Exactly. Don't think there would be anyone who would have what is this Hogwarts thing? Yeah, they know. And like I think setting it in the 1800s is perfect because like you get it far enough away where you can kind of play around with it and you're not bumping up against the books or
this can be kind of canon but not really affect anything else.
Right. They can kind of have their own story there and like creativity to like mess around with it without having to constantly worry about like what does this mean for that, what does this mean for anything else. It's in the 1800s. It's like long before Harry Potter was ever alive or any of that happened.
Yep.
I mean, I haven't read all the books, but I imagine there's not a whole lot referencing back to the 1800s exactly. Like there's at least they can mess around with it enough. I think it is very, very important, at least for me. Like other people, I'd be happy for them if it goes the other way, but for me, it does have to be an RPG. I think
everything's an RPG now.
It is. Everything at least has RPG elements. I mean, Assassin's Creed is an RPG. Assassin's Creed Odyssey is an RPG now. Yep. But if it's just an action adventure game, I'm not as interested, but I want like skill trees and I want to be able to like make choices, which this obviously sounds like it's doing that.
If everything here is correct, yeah.
yeah, and build my wizard like I want to learn this school of magic and everything. Like it needs to be that. And I kind of want, obviously not the same thing, but I want some Persona vibes in here. I want there to be not just combat making my character. I want it to be like, what classes do I go to? What classes do I sign up for? What do I do? That's like, that just sounds awesome to me. That sounds really, really cool.
What if when this is announced, the developers mention Persona by name?
It would be sweet. I doubt they would, but it would be sweet. I hope that's it. I hope it's legitimately an influence, or at least they think about that side of it. Like, I don't want the combat is very important, and you need to like be able to incorporate all the different spells in unique ways. But I think equally as important is your school life in Hogwarts and making you really feel like you're a student at Hogwarts, you know, just like everyone that says over and over again, Spider-Man makes you feel like Spider-Man. You know, this needs to make you feel like you're a student at Hogwarts and you have agency over everything you're doing.
I'm interested to see like how far they go with the decide to pursue a path of good or evil thing.
Yeah,
I imagine potentially one way or the other, like which way you go will influence what spells you can use, or what spells you decide to use influence that. Because if you use those forbidden spells that kill people left and right.
yeah, that is true. I have a feeling that like their version of evil is still going to be kind of good. Like I doubt there's going to be like completely diverging things, especially just because this is going to be a game that's at least partially appealing to non-gamers, like, you know, pulling Harry Potter fans in there. I don't know if they're going to make it that complex or that dark, but I might be wrong.
Do it.
I mean, it would be cool. I'm always down for it. But.
So you think for the fact they insert this in the 5th year means there are going to be sequels, right?
Yeah, so there's 7 years?
Yes.
Is that? Like 7 years? Okay. It's been a while.
So enough to do a trilogy if they do 1 year at a time.
Everything's a trilogy, Jeff, so it makes sense. It makes sense.
I kind of appreciate
that's done intentionally for sure.
Yeah. I appreciate that. I'm interested to see, I guess, the complete story reason why you're just suddenly a new student and going into 5th year. But yeah. I kind of appreciate we're not just going to be a 10-year-old.
Yeah, it'd be a little weird.
Yeah.
Especially if you are battling people and stuff as a 10-year-old. Is that how young they go into Hogwarts? 10?
Yeah.
Jeez.
10, 11.
Bunch of little babies running around. And I think the other very immediate thing that comes to my mind is, how did it take this long? We've obviously had Harry Potter games before, but nothing like this. Nothing like this seems, at least, just from the videos.
Okay, so here's one way to look at it, is they had video games all the way through the last Harry Potter games, and those definitely came out, I think, when I was still, the beginning of my college career.
Really?
So, I think so.
Were there games that recently?
I think so, yeah.
I know there's mobile games, but I thought that
I'm pretty sure they had actual video games for every movie.
Oh, okay.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I was probably just so far out of
that's a while ago.
I
can't even remember exactly when the last movie came out, but I think I was in already started college.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess they weren't made enough time in between, and maybe they did some for the...
There's probably been a lot of focus on, doing this Shadow Mordor stuff as far as Warner Brothers is concerned. And
they saw how successful that is. They might have already tried this at some point, and it just didn't get off the ground.
Yeah, and I mean, it hasn't really been until really the last few years that some of these companies are really starting to take this stuff seriously as far as video games and actually putting a lot of effort into it. I think this is going to be a trend we see continue. Well, it already has Spider-Man. That's I do legitimately think we're going to have a Game of Thrones game at some point. That's like an actual beefy Game of Thrones game. I think it's going to happen.
Made by Bethesda.
It'd be cool. CD Projekt Red would be cooler.
What was I about to say? I don't know. I kind of feel bad for these people that, this was leaked.
Yeah, and also it was very clumsily, it was something like in a mall, right?
Yeah.
It was like they were giving out like mall survey or something, but like no one was monitoring this guy who was recording this, and just like he could have gone and told anyone, like he obviously did. Like it was very clumsily handled, so I don't know, but I do think that there's no way this game is that far along, so I imagine their announcement has to be probably at least a decent ways out.
Yeah, so. E3. Maybe.
If not later, but yeah, E3 at the earliest for sure.
Yeah. And we just imagine if this announcement came, we knew nothing about it.
It would be crazy.
Now it's just gonna be a thing every single time
where's the Harry Potter game?
Yeah, or even at the Game Awards. I don't think we're gonna think it's gonna be there, but
there will be
some people are gonna be like, "Oh, is this where Harry Potter's announced?"
But if me, someone who I just read through the 4th book and saw through the 4th movie, and that's all I saw or whatever, and I haven't really thought about Harry Potter in years, if I'm excited and I'll play that. Can you imagine all the actual Harry Potter fans out there?
No, it's gonna sell.
And this is something that even though the main series and stuff is kind of in the rearview mirror a lot. Obviously, there's Fantastic Beasts, but the main things that people care about is far away. I don't think that matters. I think Harry Potter is just as relevant now as it was then because people are so nostalgic for it.
Oh, yeah.
Just look at BuzzFeed sorting hat quizzes. It's the most popular thing in the world. Like, everyone will be in on this.
And this is even a thing that even if you don't care for Harry Potter necessarily in his story, the world's cool enough that people who don't even care can
so
jump
much
in.
to do in
and
that
since it's
world.
not really connected to the main story that much.
Sounds like they're doing everything right.
Yeah.
They're doing it right.
We'll see if Nintendo's doing things right, Darby. This comes from Matt O'Keefe from Nintendo Everything. According to a translation and report from Wall Street Journal Japan, Nintendo plans to launch a new version of the Switch in the second half of this year. It's supposed to be next year. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not this year.
Yeah. We'll update as the story develops, and there was an update. The American Wall Street Journal just reported on the new Switch model. Here are some details about Nintendo's plans, including possibly improving the display. Nintendo is still debating what new hardware and software features to include in the upgrade, and weighing the cost of the features, people with knowledge of the discussion said. One option is improving the display. They said the current Switch uses a lower-end liquid crystal display without some technologies that are standard and more recent smartphone LCDs and some more scientific mumbo jumbo. Nintendo is looking to release the new Switch in the latter half of 2019, perhaps as soon as the summer, the people said.
Is this a big deal, Jeff?
I don't know.
I don't really think it.
I think people are going to hype this up and then be disappointed.
I think that's true. Like,
And then I'm going to be disappointed if people hype this up and it's actually true because this thing just came out last year.
Yeah,
And if this thing is as powerful as people are wanting / predicting,
that's what it would be weird for it to be that big of a leap and stuff. Since it would almost seem like, so what are we doing exactly with this? Are we just gonna keep? Is this gonna be an iterative thing that with no pricing help with it? Like, that seems obvious.
No, I will not be happy. I don't want to have to feel like I'm behind because I don't buy a thing every year or two.
No, I don't think it's going to be that. I would say, like, comparing this, I would expect something like, PlayStation Slim, like, the Xbox One S, like just these kind of quality of life, like little improvements on things. And there are things they could do, like they can make the Switch screen a little bigger or something and better, like they said with that. I mean, there's little things that could be done. But I don't think this is going to be something drastic that people thought, people are thinking about.
And this is a minority from what I've seen for the most part. People are wanting this thing to be powered up enough to where we have Switch XL, we'll just go with that for now, exclusive games. I'm like, That's how you pissed off your consumers.
Yeah, when you already had like you're like approaching 20 million people already had it or something, or, like you have a lot of people buying Switches and then to immediately be like, oh, well, here's games you can't
imagine
play.
If shortly after this they announced the new Zelda's exclusive to this.
We're I think many years away from anything like that potentially happening. And I mean, even me and you have talked about, like, I'm not even 100% convinced that they're like going to do a Switch sequel or something. Like, I'm not convinced they'll just keep going, but yeah, I mean, like, this is not surprising to me that they're doing something, but I'm pretty sure this will be, like, not even in a Nintendo Direct. I'm pretty sure this will be just like a, hey, this is happening. Yep. Yeah.
Okay, next thing, this comes from Colin Stevens from IGN. Google and Ubisoft have announced that Google's Project Stream will be testing its gaming streaming capabilities via its Chrome browser using Assassin's Creed Odyssey starting on October 5th, so this happened a couple days ago as of this recording. Both Google and Ubisoft made individual announcements on the subject, focusing on the technological advancements that make streaming a game like Odyssey on a web browser possible. Those spots to join the Project Stream trial are limited. Those who qualify and are selected will be able to play the game for free for a limited time. A video of Odyssey running on Project Stream was provided by the companies and shows footage of Alexios exploring Greece, engaging in naval combat, and more. Though the footage appears to be running relatively smoothly at 1080p 60 frames per second, input lag and other factors could not be ascertained from what has been shown. So this is that Google streaming thing that was talked forever ago.
Yeah, that we've talked about a lot. It is very interesting to now have, like, Google, Microsoft, and Sony all in different levels approaching streaming stuff, and
we'll talk about Microsoft in a second.
trying to figure this thing out. And this is one of those things that this could be one of the next big kind of like moments in gaming and like new gaming frontier is which one of these now 3 companies are the ones that break through. Like, could this, Google is always like teetered on the edge of like, do we want to get involved with video games or do we not? This could be the way that they do by just carving out their own section of the market, where it's like you have your console games over there or whatever, and then you have your Google streaming things, and it could be two different beasts. But Microsoft's also approaching it. It's weird. I feel like there's going to be some three-way war here, and I don't know if any of the three of them fully understand just how bad our internet is in a lot of places in America. Like, I don't think they fully
unfortunately, since it's so limited, not that I've looked too hard, I'm not sure like how well this runs.
I mean, all the problem with this is that it's all just depends. I mean, like, it can, like, I'm sure in like San Francisco, it probably runs great. I mean, like, you know, people who have like super good internet probably works okay, but like
it might run fine in this part of your house, very bad on the other side.
Exactly. No, I mean, like, I tried to when I got PlayStation Now, like, just playing Sly Cooper, not a very demanding game. I had input lag and stuff in certain parts of my house. Like, it's one of those that we're gonna get there, I'm sure, but this is the baby steps, and we're not there yet. And I'm sure Assassin's Creed Odyssey is a demanding game, and I'm sure that would be. It would probably not run well for me, but it would for other people, and that's the problem. Is just you cannot predict these things, and there's certain parts of the country that this is just not going to be a viable option for another 20 years, probably. Not enough to work. Basically, I hope Xbox isn't banking too hard.
Speaking of Xbox banking on this, it's because Matt and Bankhurst from IGN. Microsoft has revealed Project xCloud, a realization of their plans to bring their titles via streaming to any screen while empowering you, the gamers, to be the center of your gaming experience. Announced on Microsoft blog, Project xCloud will allow developers to deploy and dramatically scale access to their games across all devices on Project xCloud with no additional work. Microsoft plan is to begin public trials in 2019 so they can learn and scale with different volumes locations. The team behind xCloud has designed a new customizable blade that can host the component parts of multiple Xbox One consoles, as well as the associated infrastructure supporting it. These blades will be positioned around the world to take advantage of Microsoft 54 Azure regions and services that support 140 countries to ensure that gamers will get the best experience no matter where they may live. Project xCloud is being tested right now on mobile phones and tablets and allows you to connect to an Xbox wireless controller through Bluetooth to control the games or to use traditional touch controls if needed. Microsoft is also planning on developing a new game-specific touch input overlay that provides maximum response and minimal footprint for players who choose to play without a controller.
Again, I mean, I think this is like everything we just said. It's kind of
on mobile.
The same process where this sounds great, and I'm sure we'll get there at some point, but I don't think we're close. I don't think we're nearly as close as maybe people like to believe, or at least for any widespread application of just, you know, for it just to work, where I just bust out my phone and I'm playing Assassin's Creed or whatever I'm doing. And just with how different games are, it's like maybe Assassin's Creed runs great on this one machine and horrible on this other one, great with the controller, horrible with these touch controls, and developers have to like worry about their game being played on so many different places. Maybe one day this will be commonplace, but it's just it's hard to imagine that running completely smoothly in 2018.
Ubisoft likes Assassin's Creed Odyssey and streaming because it's also on the Switch.
Yeah, which I completely did not know that. I completely missed that announcement until like they.
It was the Japanese only direct. That's why.
Yeah, but it's just like that's a like big game, like a very like extensive game. Like, you know, it's.
Wonder how it runs.
I would be very interested, very interested to see. Release
it in the U.S., you cowards.
Yeah, we'll tear it apart, and they know we will. I don't know. It's hard to speak intelligently about this because I feel like this is so much of the future tech, and we're probably gonna sound stupid in a few years. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to sound smart now, but again, I hope Microsoft's not banking too hard on it. I hope they have some backup stuff.
Oh, they do, Darby. They do. This comes from Jason Stroud from Kotaku. Microsoft is finalizing a deal to acquire the independent development studio Obsidian Entertainment, according to 3 people briefed on the negotiations. We don't know if ink is on the paper yet, and plenty of major acquisition deals have fallen apart in the final hours. But those close to the companies believe it is all but done. One person with knowledge of the deal told Kotaku they heard it was 90% finished, said a second person, it's a matter of when, not if. Obsidian, best known for its work on critically acclaimed role-playing games like Knights of the Old Republic 2 and Fallout New Vegas, has been independent since it was founded in 2003. The Irvine, California-based studio has long been beloved by RPG fans, but has often faced financial strains, nearly going out of business in 2012 before it signed a deal for an online tank game and launched a Kickstarter for the isometric throwback that would become Pillars of Eternity. One compelling argument for the sale is that being owned by a company with deep pockets will offer Obsidian stability and resources the likes of which it has never had before. Microsoft spokesperson said about this, we do not comment on rumors or speculation. Obsidian spokesperson said, unfortunately, we don't comment on rumors or speculation other than to say that the Rumors album by Fleetwood Mac still holds up.
You damn right it does.
So that's that.
This is even more consumer-friendly stuff by Microsoft, and I love it because this Obsidian is not like the obvious surefire win. Like the surefire, like, this is going to be a cash cow for us studio for Microsoft to buy, but they make really good games that fans really like. Pillars of Eternity is awesome. Obviously, I love Fallout New Vegas is where I know the most from, but this is one of those like Microsoft is potentially taking the hit now. So that to build goodwill, let Obsidian make cool games, just like they're letting Ninja Theory make cool games that is probably not going to be big money makers, but they're going to slowly build their way up, like PlayStation did with the PS3, where they're like Media Molecules making Little Big Planet games and like weird stuff. Like, I like it.
Yeah. I feel like Obsidian, more so than Ninja Theory and some other ones to do, has the potential to make that giant hit.
It could, yeah. Because, I mean, like, obviously it wasn't their property or whatever, but like, Fallout New Vegas is a huge game, like popular game.
And now they, assuming this is all true, this is not, a for sure thing, but if this is true and Obsidian is purchased by Microsoft, then yeah, like they said, they have the financial stability and the funding, you presume, to actually make their vision. And Microsoft seems to be saying that they're giving their developers like free reign.
Do you want a weird, probably not going to happen, but I'm shot in the dark hot take?
Sure, why not?
Well, I don't think it's a hot take. Just guess prediction.
Sure.
What if they get Obsidian? They are the ones that make the deals with HBO and Game of Thrones RPG exclusive to Xbox and Windows.
That'd be crazy.
I mean, like, these guys made New Vegas. They made RPGs. They do this. I mean, like, they could be a ones, and that would be, especially if you think about, like, they're buying them now, and if they start doing these deals or whatever for the next console release, like it may be a launch title or like a few years into it or something, that would be a pretty big exclusive. That would be something that would make me, like, I would probably play it on my PC, but at least, like, there's no way I would just not play a, like, really good Game of Thrones RPG. I mean, that could be an example of, like, when all these studios start, like, firing off cylinders for Xbox and, like, maybe next generation, maybe they don't completely compare with PlayStation, but they're starting to get those exclusives. That could be a big one.
Now, Dari, here's something to think about that, they got Ninja Theory and now potentially Obsidian and other new studios and just their studios in general, and they're all going to be on Game Pass day one, you assume.
Yeah.
Imagine if the price stays the same. That's when I get Game Pass.
That too. I mean, like, yeah, when you also, like, and Game Pass has just added so much by then, you can tell people, like, yeah, for $10 a month, come play in Westeros. Like, play this, like, gigantic RPG for Game of Thrones. Does it sound that crazy? I mean, I don't think it sounds that crazy. I think
it could happen.
Could happen.
No, but this makes sense, especially since Obsidian's had the money troubles they've been having. Now, I have a prediction, and I think people will probably bring this. I haven't heard people talk about, like, on Kind of Funny or any of that stuff yet. I'm sure other people brought this up. I think this is, as long as this goes through, like, soon, this is going to be one of the XO announcements. That presentation they have next month. This sounds like a good announcement to have.
Yeah, because this was not official, so they're gonna and falls in line with E3 when they're like, they're wanting to tell people, look at these studios,
And
we're doing
I think
this,
Jason might have briefly mentioned it on Twitter, or at least in conversation with someone else on Twitter when talking about this, that there are rumors that, and they didn't name names, that Xbox or Microsoft's looking at buying other studios. This isn't the only one people are hearing.
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
I mean, like that's the vibe I got from E3 was that kind of like this is just the beginning where we're really doing this. We're like building back
at XO, whatever you want to call it, XO18,
which is just in a few weeks. So
that's in a month. That
yeah.
They're probably going to at least announce this May another studio or something.
Yeah.
Yes, they're going to announce a studio called Fable, Darby.
As long as they're making Fable, whatever.
Nope, they're just called Fable. Darby, I really feel like Fable's happening next month. I feel it in my bones. It makes sense. They teased it.
That was a tease. That was a Fable tease.
And what better way to announce it than at your own conference? I mean, that's a perfect 1-0 thing at a Xbox Focus event.
No, yeah. That's... You'd have people that would lose their
This is exciting. Microsoft's doing a lot of good things.
I do like it. Just keeps coming. It really is weird how much this mirrors the PS3 360 era, just in complete reverse. Where like towards the end, 360, on PS3 started taking the financial hits just to get like, look at these cool creative games, look at this or whatever, and Microsoft's doing that in the form of features, gamer features or whatever, and look at all these studios and like. That's not going to pay off for them immediately, but in a few years,
the hits will keep on coming.
There's going to be a time where it's like, okay, we finally did it. Like all that paid off. Like we're going to tell like whenever Ninja Theory's next game comes out, and
what's good is they're getting studios that are like, well, I mean, we'll need to see what they do, but at different levels, like different how big they are.
Yeah.
So we'll get. The big AAA things, like probably what Ascension's going to do, and the, Halo studios and all that kind of stuff. And then, like, Ninja Theory are going to be smaller things. Pretty decently budget, but,
Yeah, and you have a good wide range with it. Honestly, Sony doesn't even have, not that it's a bad thing, because third parties kind of carry that, but, most Sony properties at this point are the AAA games. Like, Dreams is like is like the weird outlier there.
The amount of times making the budget is probably like a AAA game.
and honestly, if Dreams, like, was trying to be pitched to Sony now, I think they would turn it down. I think Dreams is a holdover from a different Sony. Mm-hmm. And Microsoft, if they start coming in there and being like, yeah, we have these different types, we have these AA, like, weird experiences, and we have this. Because Obsidian, even though they haven't been relevant for a while, and they've had financial troubles, Obsidian could easily become a, like, top-tier RPG developer with Microsoft money behind them if they have a big hit. Off to the races. I mean,
that's my thinking / hope.
Yep.
Okay, next thing. We have more Telltale updates. We're going to keep on coming.
Yeah.
This comes from Brendan Sinclair from GameIndustry.biz. I got 2 different story things. I'm just going to probably just go ahead and just read it first so we can talk about it.
Okay.
Whatever hope there was for a Telltale Games turnaround took a hit today, as it appears the small team of employees who survived last month's mass layoffs have now joined their former colleagues, according to now former Telltale narrative designer Rachel Noel. Quote from her Twitter, "Hey, remember how there was going to be a skeleton crew staying on for a while and I was a part of it? Nah, JK, we all just got laid off too." Inquiry to Telltale was not immediately returned, and in an update, Noel has since clarified via Twitter that these latest layoffs have not affected the entirety of the Telltale survivors. Quote, "I think there were some misunderstandings about my earlier message. There are still good people at the company. My team is done." End quote. When asked what the remaining staff were working on, Noel said she was unsure. She was also asked how many Telltale employees left, but only responded, "Not many." Next thing comes from Laura Prudhomme from IGN. Robert Kirkman announced that the final episode of Telltale Games The Walking Dead, the final season, will be released via his company Skybound during the Walking Dead panel at the New York Comic-Con on Saturday. Kirkman said, "We've successfully negotiated with Telltale Games for our company Skybound to come in and see Season 4 of the Telltale game to completion." In quote, according to a statement from Skybound, the company has taken ownership of Telltale's The Walking Dead the final season and will finish the season. Skybound will work with members of the original Telltale team to finish the story in a way the fans deserve. Skybound will continue to update fans on the status of the game on Skybound.com, Twitter, and Facebook.
So obviously the first thing, I mean, it's a little surprising that their skeleton crew is already falling apart. It's just obviously everything is collapsing at Telltale, and it's just
obviously no severance or the same thing with all the other ones.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, no,
she said so.
Yeah,
This was an article.
Yeah. So I mean, just Telltale continues to collapse, continues to have poor management, and this whole thing is just a train wreck. Moving on to the second story. This, I think we talked about last week how, if Telltale was going to make some miraculous deal to have The Walking Dead happen, and everyone I understand as fans were like excited for that, but it's also like when you worry about these people first, and then that later. I think they're doing this in the right way, where they're trying to get as many original Telltale workers as they can on for the job, so that for whatever reason they want to get back on, whether it's they, creatively want to be the ones telling Clem's final story, or they just need a job temporarily. So I think they're doing it the right way with this. So, I was hesitant when this news came out, because it seemed like it was probably going to happen in some way that, that someone was going to make The Walking Dead final season happen. I think this is the best possible way for it to happen.
Yeah.
The whole situation still sucks, but at least some people can get back, maybe finish this season, and then have time to prepare to go somewhere else. Obviously not everyone. There was 250 people. I doubt they're going to be able to get 250 people back.
Well, man, not all of those were working on...
No. Which, again, stands.
Yeah.
I mean, it stands. All those people who aren't getting their jobs back, it still sucks for them.
Even then, people getting their job back is just going to be for a couple months, because I think Walking Dead was scheduled to end during December. It's not going to end. It's going to be pushed back a little bit, but since it's being sold to them and the same people, I guess hopefully they can just, start where they left off pretty easily. I don't know.
Hopefully, I'm sure it's gonna be a very weird workspace and a weird work environment, and it's still just like,
there'll be the sense
I don't know how
of
much Telltale money went into this, but if it was much, it seems like, why were you not helping your employees? But I don't know. At least people will hopefully be able to see the end of Clem's story, but I just hope that everyone, turns out okay.
Yep. Next story. Not planning on it. Probably just going to skim over and not read the whole thing, but this comes from Jason Soraya from Kotaku. Pretty much the story is, let's see. PlayStation name changes are coming.
That one.
Yeah. I don't think that was one I need to read the whole thing for.
No, it's fine. Like, it seems very... Like,
that's when I list stories.
I mean, it came from Jason Schreier from Kotaku, but basically, it seems very clear that it's happening. The developers were asked to basically prepare for it and stuff. I mean, we've gotten stuff like this before in the past where, like, we knew that people were working on it. Just apparently, this is a hard thing to implement for Sony. But either way, it might be finally happening. Yep. Pretty sure. Yep.
Next story comes from Eddie McCloak from GameSpot. Capcom's live-action Mega Man movie, which we first heard about back in 2015, is now finally official, guys. The Japanese publisher confirmed everything that was rumored before. Henry Joost and Ariel Schulman, who directed Paranormal Activity 3 and Paranormal Activity 4, are writing and directing the Mega Man film, because that is a natural transition, which is tentatively titled Mega Man. Planet of the Apes Studio, 20th Century Fox is distributing the movie. Churnin Entertainment is producing. Heroes actor Masi Oka is producing as well. Quote from Capcom in a news release: based on the influential and globally beloved Mega Man franchise, Capcom aims to appeal to a diverse audience, including not only game players, but action movie fans as well, with an adaptation that maintains the world of the Mega Man games, while incorporating the grand production entertainment via the Hollywood movies are known for. This is going to be utter crap.
There's, like, 0% chance, right?
Like, here's the thing. It doesn't even have the chance to be so bad it's kind of good and funny in the Sonic movie way. Like, I don't think it's going to be the case with Sonic movie. Sonic at least had the case be so dumb it could be enjoyable.
I mean, this is going to be pretty dumb.
No. But Sonic has this... No, this is going to be more straight up dumb, and Sonic has a chance to be so dumb it's funny. I don't think that's going to be the case, but at least have that chance there. Mega Man, there's no way.
I just can't even begin to tell you what it would be. Like, are we going to see a man in a blue, like, cylindrical thing?
Yeah. Or a kid.
And, like, a real dog?
Yeah.
Playing like or is it even gonna happen? I mean, like, I still not convinced. Like, I feel like all
Sonic movies happening.
All these, like, I feel like there's been like 9 different video game movies that people have been talking about happening for so long. Like, is there an Uncharted movie? Is there a Last of Us movie? Apparently, there's gonna be a Monster Hunter movie.
Oh yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Anyway, can we move on?
Okay. Last news story. This comes from Adam Banghurst from IGN. Sony has seemingly revealed 2 of the 3 PS4 titles we're placing in the Plus lineup for November extremely early, and they are Yakuza Kiwami and Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition. And the reason this happened on the official PlayStation Plus page, Yakuza Kiwami and Bulletstorm Full Clip Edition, both free masters, appear at the text November free PS4 games. No further information is present.
So, someone messed up.
Yep. What? Kind of hate it because I already have Kiwami.
Yeah.
I wish it was 0.
I'm about to run out of PC space. I accidentally, when I first got my PC, I accidentally downloaded Divinity Original Sin onto the wrong spot. Mm-hmm. And that takes like about 60 gigs of like hard drive space. And I need to move all those saves over. I just need to back them up and stuff because like your boy would be super sad if I accidentally lose those.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Yakuza's cool.
Yep.
Is this this is the remake of 1. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, get people started. I might try that if it's 1.
I already have a physical copy of it. I kind of wish it was 0.
Yeah, 0 would be better. Anyway. All right, Jeff, what is next? I don't know what's next.
Game time, Derby. I'm trying to do stuff different than games. Earlier this year, around, I don't know, February or something, we did a little prediction game thing where I asked you questions and you predicted stuff related to Nintendo and the Switch.
Okay.
But right now, we're in the middle of Smash hype.
We are.
We've talked a lot about Smash. We've kind of had predictions, but I'm gonna put you on the spot, and we're gonna have you make official predictions on some things.
Official. These are written in stone.
Yep, for Smash that comes out in 2 months. Yep, we're right under 2 months.
Whew.
Part of the reason this came up because there was rumor that there was going to be a new character / Smash Direct this week. It could still happen. There are reasons for that. They updated the website where they took off the new thing from the character thing, which has normally equaled new character, and they added an untitled thing to the character video playlist. Ooh. That's happened so far 10 days out from a new character announcement. So we'll see. But they haven't announced a direct yet, so who knows? Okay, so
I mean they'll announce them 2 days before sometimes, or the day before. So
yeah, normally it's been Monday to Wednesday, but we'll see. But it's also Tuesday, so whatever. Yeah. They could shadow drop a character trailer. Who knows?
Shadow drop it.
Yeah.
Shadow drop shadow.
Okay, so I got some questions here.
Okay.
How many characters do you think are gonna be left, Darby? How many character announcements do you think we're gonna get?
Okay.
Overall.
Yeah, so it's including echoes and new ones and just the whole shebang. Is this including DLC or is this just only in the main game?
Main game. That way, when it comes out on December 7th, we can
go
through it. We can go through it and we can definitively say if you got these right.
Yes. Okay. I'm gonna try not to take too long on these.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. I'm stuck between 5 and 6. We're going 5.
Okay.
Lock it in, 5.
What is the unique / echo split between the amount of characters you picked? We're back, Darby. And I gotta ask you the second question again.
Okay.
What do you think the unique character / echo character split's gonna be with the number you gave of 5?
Okay. Either 2 echoes and I'm gonna go. I don't even know where the third one would come from. Yeah, screw it. 3 echoes, 2 new. Okay. I don't know what that third echo is. Question mark third echo, and maybe I'm about to have to come up with
Who are these characters?
I wasn't thinking it that way. I was just kind of Blind shotting it. Okay. So we'll shadow Ken. Go.
We got one more echo and 2 uniques.
They're messing me up because I didn't know what that last echo was. I was just saying there's gonna be echo. Okay. Can I just say or Incineroar?
Okay.
Probably won't be a new Pokemon route until DLC because
You said Incineroar though.
I mean like new. Yeah.
No.
I mean that
Gen
is
8.
new. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they would. Yeah.
Oh, especially since we have not seen any Gen 8 Pokemon.
Yes.
It'd be weird if they premiered it in Smash.
It would be weird. 3. Stuck between there's the what's the Super Mario RPG guy?
Geno. Man, if we get Geno instead of other square reps, I'm sorry. That's gonna be one of those kids. I'm like, come on, really?
I kind of agree.
All these square reps and you go with that.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree with you. I was not prepared for this.
That's the best way to do this, Darby.
It's also gonna make me take forever.
Light me around.
I mean, I can cut some things out. But I mean, I'm having to come up with them. I don't know. Alright, so Ken, Shadow, Incineroar. Should I go crazy and do like a... I mean, like, it's not... I mean, like, I think the craziness will come in DLC, though. That's the problem. I honestly can't think, Jeff.
I'll help you out with this and let you count an Echo potentially being like Dixie Kong. And if she's like an Isabelle type thing, screw it.
That's close enough.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Do you want to say Dixie?
Yes. Okay.
Dixie.
I will say... sorry. If we're cutting things out, I don't know. We cut a lot of things out. I'm gonna go Dixie Kong.
Okay, who's gonna be the
another Echo? So I'm
Got
down. I'm
unique.
down to one more unique.
Yes.
Okay. I can do it. It's obviously Bowsette. Just put it down there.
Sakurai's prepared before the trip.
He just knew. He knew.
He is a wizard.
We've said this whole time there had to be one more crazy announcement. I just don't know what that crazy announcement would be.
That's why it's crazy.
I don't think it's going to be something I can guess.
I don't know. Do you think there's going to be another third party?
Yeah, I want like the craziest I can get is like Sora, which I don't think is going to happen.
Yeah.
Screw it.
Sora?
Screw it. I'll take a long shot. Screw it.
I hope at least that prediction's right.
All right. Is that the end? Or?
No, we got more, darn.
Okay.
Well, you should make it faster. Okay. How many stages do you think are left, if any?
Okay, so we're at 100 and 103 counting the...
Yeah, so pretty much do you think these are the last stages thing's true or not?
No, probably not if we're getting new characters. But maybe. Now, if we do get the 5 characters, I think there probably are new stages, but not many. I would say 2 or 3. I'll go... I could see Shadow being announced with no new stage. Obviously,
Yeah.
Ken announced with no new stage. I could even see Incineroar announced with no new stage. There's enough Pokemon. Unless it's some special Sun and Moon stage, which would be cool. But
Yep.
2.
Okay. What do you think its spirit mode's going to be exactly? Don't think I'm in great detail, but...
Single player, definitely. Yeah, we'll just see how close I can get by just like saying a bunch of different things. I think it's not going to be like a giant thing like Subspace Emissary with like cutscenes all over the place. It's not going to be that in depth. But I do think you're going to be kind of like the adventure mode before. You're going to be going to different like game worlds or whatever, and like fighting some like themed boss fight there, like the Monster Hunter thing. I think you're going to go to like a Monster Hunter stage, fight Rathalos, and I think there's going to be multiple different things like that. And I do think, I guess this will be a hook to like show if I'm right or not. I do think there's going to be something involving either like the new characters are dead or the old characters are dead or something, and the rest of the characters are like bringing back to life. There's going to be some sort of like characters are dead and needs to come back to life type thing. There's going to be something with that. And I do think it'll probably be, because they keep talking about you start with the original 8. I think it's going to be the original 8 are the ones that are trying to help the others.
Will there be a stage builder?
Yes.
Will we be satisfied with the stage builder?
No.
Okay. Will we find, me and you find unlocking characters tedious / annoying?
Yes.
We can do the fun stuff.
Absolutely, yes. And I know we're in the minority, but yes.
Who will be our most used newcomers? And you are allowed to use your predictions.
Good question. Good question. So I'm picking for you and for me.
Yes. Based on the ones that are announced / even the ones you predicted.
Yeah. I could see me being Simon Belmont. I'm pretty...
I'll just put Belmont for...
Yeah. That chain, man.
Yeah.
Chain, man, has some reach. Jeff, I'm like going between some. I could see you a King K. Rool, man.
I could a man of culture, after all.
Yes, a man of culture. I could also even see like an Isabel or something. Like, that's a sleeper hit. And then Inkling, but from what I hear of Inkling, I don't know if Inkling will be necessarily your character.
Okay. Don't forget Ridley.
Ridley. Somehow I see you King K. Rool more than Ridley.
Okay.
I'm going to go King K. Rool.
Okay. And final question, Darby. Simple and straight to the point. Will all our hopes and dreams come true?
Of course, Jeff. They already have. It's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Are you kidding me? Yes.
That is it. We will come back to you in December.
Yes, okay.
To see how this went.
Alrighty, Jeff. Well, main topic time. We are going to kind of do a little bit of a Game Awards, first check-in. Okay. Just checking in, Jeff. Just popping in here to see how we're feeling. Obviously, it's October 9th. The biggest thing is that Red Dead has not come out yet. There's some other
about
games like there's some things that that will probably impact this that have not come out yet. But we're gonna go category by category, and we are talking about the Keeleys, Jeff Keeley's Game Awards.
Yep, the Keeleys.
The Keeleys.
Official name.
We're gonna go category by category and just generally kind of talk about what we're feeling, like what games, like we're gonna come up with like, a list of games that we think are like the contenders there. We're not saying anything official or certain right now because we're absolutely gonna have another topic about this before the show.
Yeah,
we're probably gonna have a whole predictions thing if we can get going here and stuff.
This is a fun, easy.
So
topic.
This is just checking in.
Yeah,
checking in. We'll just see. I don't think we should start there, obviously. Yeah. So let's scroll down a little bit and like we're gonna definitely throw some of these categories to the wayside. Absolutely.
Are we going to start from the bottom and go up?
Yeah, okay. I think you have to, right, Joe?
Yeah.
You can't start that. Okay. Chinese fan game, it's out of here. Esports team, it's out of here. Esports player, out of here. Esports game, probably Overwatch again. I don't know, but it's out of here because we don't know.
No, wait. I'm going to make a prediction. The esports team is going to be an Overwatch League team.
Yeah. Well, the London Spitfire won, so.
Yeah.
They'll probably
or one of those teams. Probably gonna have at least one or two of them in there.
Yeah, or the Excelsior will win, even though they didn't even win the whole thing. Stupid Patriots.
Hey! Just because they won doesn't mean they're necessarily the most popular, Darby.
That's dumb. I think you're probably right though.
But this one I think is completely fan voted. So that's all I'm saying.
Esports game, Overwatch maybe not win because it won last year, but I mean like they had the whole league happen this year. I don't know. It's weird. It's
trending gamer. Who knows? Who cares?
Yeah.
Most of them have turned out to not be the best of people.
Yeah, no, Greg Miller, he's just awful, man.
Man, he seems to be the exception.
He's like the only one who hasn't had some controversy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I can't think of anyone that I know that could be, like, suddenly be someone who would be
Jared Petty. Just to end, can you do kind of?
It would be cool. It would be very cool for him. The only people like Ninja's way too big, and there's a lot of other people. I don't know. It'd probably be someone I haven't heard of.
Yeah.
Most anticipated game.
Last of Us Part 2. We have the winners from last year out here, just because this is the way they work.
Yeah, we just copied it straight from there.
Last of Us Part 2.
Last of Us Part 2 will probably be in the nomination thing again, even unless they have something against that happening. I'm not entirely sure.
No.
Not entirely sure. I think definitely Sekiro will be one of them. Anthem will absolutely be one of them in there.
My heart says Kingdom Hearts 3, yo. It's time.
Oh, yeah, it's right there. Like, yeah, Kingdom Hearts 3 will definitely be one of them.
Obviously, not all. I can't remember how many they have on here, but obviously all the ones we named.
Then they have
Actually,
4
Resident
to
Evil.
5. Yeah, Resident Evil remake.
Or maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. If they only have like 5 of them.
I think that sounds about right. They had about 5.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, I don't know.
Remake might not.
Or even Kingdom Hearts. I don't even know if those would make the cut.
Yeah.
Especially if they go something. They're willing to put something like Last of Us Part 2, which is not even confirmed for next year.
Right. Like, do you think they'll do that again and have like Ghost of Tsushima or something on there?
Probably.
Where we don't even know anything about it. We might by then. Potentially, or during that show. No,
Yeah.
Sony doesn't usually. I don't know.
There's no PSX
Yes,
whatsoever.
but Tokyo, Paris Games Week might be. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think those are about what I'm feeling. I can't think of any. There's other ones like Metro's absolutely not going to be in there. Crackdown 3.
There are a couple obvious ones we're forgetting for sure.
Yeah, there are, but those are definitely. Of those, what would be like your most anticipated game? That is one we can actually kind of like.
I mean, I'd vote Kingdom Hearts was on there.
Yeah. I mean, if Last of Us Part 2 was on there, it would be mine again. But if not, probably Ghost of Tsushima or something.
Let's see. Best debut indie game.
I mean, Celeste.
I don't know if that's debuted, so.
What exactly is it?
I mean, it's the first game from this studio.
Yeah, I have no.
So I have no comment on this because I'm not sure.
I don't know enough about that, so yeah, then we pass on that one. But best indie game is the next one.
Celeste, let's give.
I have struggled to see Celeste not win.
Hollow Knight if it's eligible.
Yeah,
but
that's
it
a big
technically came out last year, but it's gotten more in the public eye this year.
Yeah, it's one of those. It's really weird. I mean, they did the PUBG thing, so who knows? All bets might be off. But it's like. Hollow Knight, for all intents and purposes, kind of came out this year. That's when it definitely... I mean, the Switch version came out this year, and that's why.
Well, and the PS4, Xbox.
Oh, yeah. I forget. Yeah.
But that's different than PUBG because PUBG debuted at least last year. It was officially out on PC for over a year before.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, like, if Hollow Knight's there, potentially, but I could see Celeste...
The Messenger.
Being in there. The Messenger would definitely be a nominee for sure. Yeah, those 3. If Hollow,
another other one I'm forgetting,
there,
but
yeah, I always want to.
Into the Breach.
That was
this year, right?
Golf Story.
That was last year.
Was that last year? Yeah, that was last year. You're right. You're right. Getting all these.
Another other ones I'm forgetting, but yeah.
But I mean, I think Celeste is the obvious choice, unless it wins Game of the Year.
Man, if there was an indie game that was in the Game of the Year category but did not win Best Indie, I'd be like, what are you doing? That's when I was like, how?
Okay. Best multiplayer game. We obviously don't play a lot of these. Fortnite, Monster Hunter, potentially.
I got Magic could be Fortnite.
I mean, like, Fortnite's probably gonna win. I'm just talking about what could be nominated.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as the release, yeah. Oh wait. I was thinking overall. No, Fortnite wouldn't be in there unless they do the whole.
Yeah, it wouldn't. It would. I mean,
I was thinking. We'll get to. I think it's on here. Best continuous game.
You would say Fortnite either released last year or it hasn't released yet. Period. It's like
I think it's the best continuous game category. That's what Fortnite would be.
But I mean, like, I could see them doing. I mean, just like kind of funny. Keeps talking about Fortnite with Game of the Year. It's like. I can see them being like, what else could it be?
The difference is they don't take this stuff seriously, which, man, I'm not saying that's a negative, but Game Awards are a little more serious and official.
Yes. But, I mean, obviously if Fortnite was in there, it would be that. Yeah. If not, I could see Monster Hunter being there, but even though I do think,
Fallout 76.
Fallout 76 would probably be one of them. we'll still like not entirely know how that game's going to pan out by then.
Yeah.
But
Call of Duty, maybe, especially if Blackout's a hit.
yeah, which Blackout seems to be a big hit. That's
Battlefield,
probably a
maybe?
good bet, and Battlefield, depending on how that goes.
Yeah.
But I do think Monster Hunter World is going to be a Game of the Year contender, though. So
Yeah.
that's also going to be whatever.
So always there's stuff we're definitely forgetting, but
Best sports/racing game. Apparently,
Mario Tennis Aces, let's go.
Yeah, I mean, more than likely, people apparently really love this new Forza Horizon
This
game.
is true.
So that's probably more likely than Mario Tennis. I don't think Mario Tennis is going to have the surprise pull of like Mario plus Rabbids or something like that. I don't think it's quite going to have that. I love it. It would be mine, obviously, but I think probably that Horizon game.
Obviously Mario Party, I mean. that's a
Obviously
sports
Mario
game.
Party.
Yeah.
It's the best sport of all.
Yeah.
Best strategy game. Didn't really play many strategy games this year that I could think of. Last year it was just like Mario plus Rabbids. It's like the obvious thing. I don't think I played many, so I can't really comment on this.
I can't think of any like big one that.
But this next one is you. It's all you.
Best VR AR game. Obviously Astrobot's gonna be on there.
Mm-hmm.
Has a pretty good chance of winning, I believe. Moss should be on there.
Yes.
Firewall.
Yeah.
That's what I made to look into getting. The problem is, to get the best out of it, you need that gun thing.
How much is that?
I'm not sure how much that is. I'll need to look, but I know the game's. I think it's on sale now because I guess so. During the folks know right now there's a PlayStation only on PlayStation sale on
the PS Store.
Yeah, and also PSVR sale because it's 2-year anniversary today.
Okay, yeah.
Which is why they announced Borderlands as well, part of it.
Yeah, though I would don't be completely skewed because most of the people here enjoying Firewall have friends who have VR to play with. I think that definitely would help that a lot.
Yeah.
So those three. I mean, I don't know enough VR titles that came out this year, but
probably all the ones I forget. I think those are going to be the three that people talk about.
The main ones, yeah. The ones that are the most talked about. Well, what do you think wins if it is those three? What do you think critically wins? Do you think Astrobot?
If enough people play Astrobot.
Yeah. Which there's time.
Now I can see the impatient on here just because people struggle to think of VR games.
Yeah. What if the impatient wins?
Then I will question the whole category.
You'd be like, everyone was just voting for the one that they played, or the one they knew.
Pretty much. That's not even a thing. I don't know too many people that really, really liked it. Most people I heard that played it were in the same way as me. It's like, it had potential, but that's the thing for another time.
Yeah.
Best mobile game. I don't know, man.
Pass. Dragalia Lost.
Yeah, that
apparently it's not doing great.
Best handheld game. WarioWare.
I don't know, man.
I don't know. I don't know. It's on 3DS. Not much of anything. Move on.
Best ongoing game.
Fortnite.
It's
Fortnite.
So Fortnite wins. What else would be there? I don't even know.
Overwatch. I don't know if they do the same thing. Overwatch makes sense. PUBG makes sense to be on here.
Overwatch won it last year, so it's gonna be on there again.
I imagine
it would. What is this category if Overwatch is not in there? But
yeah. Unless they're like, oh, it already won. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. PUBG will obviously be on there.
Yeah.
Dota's still a big thing, right?
Fortnite wins it. Fortnite wins it. It's not even really that much worth it.
Games for impact.
No, yeah, this is always we don't completely know where this goes, but yeah, my immediate mind goes to Celeste. If it is just
for nomination,
if it is just games that the game has themes that are for, you know what I mean? That's kind of what the Hellblade thing was.
Yeah.
It had it had a theme.
No,
mental health.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if Life is Strange would count because it's not going to be done.
Yeah, but that could be it.
Yeah.
Or that might be for next year.
Yeah,
but
I don't know how they do the whole episodic thing. That's
this is probably another Celeste runs away with it thing, unless there's something that we just are.
I'm sure there are a couple. Yeah, I remember that last year. At least me, I played the majority of the category.
Yeah, you did.
Or between both of us, we played about all of them.
Was Night in the Woods in that one?
Oh,
yeah. Need to get to that one now. I'm finally getting to Celeste. I finally need to get to these Switch games I should have played months ago.
Yeah.
Best performance, Yuri Lowenthal has to be in there for Spider-Man.
Yeah. The guy who plays Kratos.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Mimir.
Absolutely.
Potentially.
Yeah, potentially the kid for Trey, or whoever it was.
God of War could be the Uncharted of last year and have a couple.
Or they have multiple different ones, and even the Freya I mean, like, I don't know if she would be in that category.
Okay, we're getting as God of War probably. And yeah, I'm trying to think what other.
I feel like Yuri Lowenthal has to be in there.
Oh yeah.
It has to be in there, and depending on Red Dead, there could be some voice actor for that. Whoever does Arthur could be, but I think Kratos is the obvious. It's kind of the clear, probably gonna win.
Yeah.
Category because
even if it's just because out of the God of War cast, he's the main character.
Yeah.
Spider-Man could win because the God of War people will be split. If
it could be, yeah.
I'm trying to think if there are any like other big AAA things, or not even AAA, just games in general that I've heard that had standout performances. I feel like all the other ones didn't really have.
Yeah, there's not as many this year as there was like last year. There was just several games that had like between Lost Legacy with you had Chloe and Nadine's voice actresses, and then Ashley Birch was just obvious, and Molina like the Hellblade.
Far Cry didn't have anyone that stood out.
I doubt it. I mean, I didn't play it, but I don't remember there being
maybe Assassin's Creed. People seem to really like it, but I don't know if it's
people really like Cassandra's voice actress. I know people really like, so that could be a nomination. But I agree that God of War is going to at least have 2, if not 3. So.
Yep, best audio design.
I mean, God of War was pretty darn good.
Yeah.
But this is another one of those it's just hard to completely know until people have. And last year was just so obvious. If anything besides Hellblade 1, I would have righted. Yeah. Best score / music.
Dragon Quest 11.
It's the only one I can guarantee knows.
I'm bad with this stuff.
Yeah,
Astrobot's music's pretty dope.
And I mean, I love like when it. Yeah, I guess this would be that category. Sometimes they have 2 different categories. I love Celeste's music. Unfortunately, I was in the plane. I forgot my headphones, or I only had my Bluetooth headphones, and I didn't have the connection to them or whatever. So for the entire hotel level and a lot of the next level, the soundtrack was Fleetwood Mac to me. That's what Celeste soundtrack was to me. Unfortunately, I didn't get like all of that pretty much, but so which sucks because whenever I did get the music afterwards in the hotel, I was like, "This is really good music. I really wish I could have heard it." Oh well. I mean that's up there. There's not as many standouts this year.
Again, I'm bad with the whole thing.
I would know this normally, but it's just like I don't feel like there's as many standouts, and obviously we didn't get to play a lot of these big games.
Yeah.
Moving on, not best game, best action adventure game.
So, I imagine.
Does Assassin's Creed count?
No, that's what it says. I think Odyssey would. I have trouble telling like what action adventure and all that kind of stuff it's.
I mean, Assassin's Creed has been an action adventure game every game until now, and they might still consider it that, but it has so many RPG elements that I think it's basically an RPG at this point with the, your like decisions and everything else. But it depends on how they do that.
I can see this being a thing because a lot of these nominees come down to what people put in. For it, I can see people putting it as an action-adventure game because there's so many other games that are just RPG as RPGs, so they're like, okay, we'll put Assassin's Creed here or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Far Cry? Maybe?
Yeah, Far Cry I can see there. I'm trying to look at like some of the games that come out this year. What is Hitman 2? Does Hitman 2 count? It's just like action game, so it's like potentially...
Yeah, if this is action, I don't know. Yeah, there's an action category.
I mean, if there was a stealth category, it would obviously be that. But I'm pretty sure Hitman 2 would fall under action adventure. So that's definitely a possibility.
Well, Hitman might be more just straight up action because you don't really do much. I don't know. These categories are weird.
I mean, action adventure is a like dumb catch-all that a lot of things just fall into because everything has RPG elements at this point too, and that's also part of the problem.
What I'm gonna bring up Game Awards last year to see what the all the nominees were.
Yeah.
So we can.
I don't really see many things that would make sense.
Okay, let's see.
Unless I don't know what Shadow of the Tomb Raider counts as.
I put that as action adventure. Shadow of Tomb Raider.
I could see that potentially up there.
Okay, so these, to give you an idea, these are what was under an action adventure game for last year: Breath of the Wild, Assassin's Creed Origins, Horizon, Mario Odyssey, and Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Under action, it's Wolfenstein 2, Cuphead, Destiny 2, Neo, and Prey.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So some of those, like I think Shadow of Tomb Raider is definitely up there. Yeah.
Shadow, if it's in, will definitely be action adventure.
Yeah.
Far Cry would probably be in there. Is there any like?
Probably wouldn't win.
Yeah. God of War,
obvious one. Oh yeah, God of War. Yeah,
Red Dead.
I keep throwing so many things into RPG, but like God of War would absolutely.
Red Dead is going to be in this category,
and that would too.
Yeah.
So that's another one potentially. Like whichever one of those two doesn't win.
Monster Hunter, maybe. Would be action.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I guess it probably would be. This is really
filling them up.
That's such a dumb category. It's just like
people struggle with every year. It's like, what's
It's such a catch-all. For
moving
everything.
on. Best family game. Let's see what Nintendo games released this year.
There's gonna be Mario Party. There's gonna be Starlink.
Tennis.
There's gonna be tennis.
Kirby. Smash will not be out. So
Smash will not be out.
Pokemon.
Yeah, that will be out by then. That's gonna win. I could see that winning. Yep. Even if people don't like it, I could see that winning.
Yep. Okay, moving on to Industry Icon Award. Yeah, they just announced this stuff, so.
Yeah. Best fighting game, Smash is not going to be in there. So, Dragon Ball FighterZ, congratulations on your award.
Yeah, we'll see what other ones. Soul Calibur will be in.
Soul Calibur will be in there. Blaze Blue, was that?
Oh, yeah, the Blaze Blue Cross, whatever.
Yeah. Was there a Tekken this year?
Tekken was last year.
That was last year. Those sound about right, and then there'll be
some other weird thing,
so
they can fill this category.
But FighterZ is gonna win it. FighterZ is absolutely.
See, here's the thing, though: the 3 games we named, are made by Arc System and No Bankai, and FighterZ is a combination of both.
Yeah. So they win no matter what. They're good.
Yeah. Yeah, but FighterZ is 100% winning that category.
Yes.
Best role-playing game.
Yeah, this is weird. I kept like throwing games that didn't belong in there, like all the God of War and all the other ones. As far as actual
Dragon
RPGs, Dragon Quest will be in there. Again, I could see Assassin's Creed Odyssey in there, but I could also see them putting in action adventure.
Let me just pull up, since I still have it up, just what they had in RPG. They had Persona 5, Divinity, Final Fantasy 15, Nier Automata, and South Park. Those all made
Especially
sense.
after playing Divinity, it's like, that would have been a choice back then. I mean, not between. Wait, what was it all again?
Persona 5, Divinity, Final Fantasy 15, Nier, and South Park.
I mean, right now it would be Divinity by a mile, but I haven't played enough Persona.
But so Dragon Quest will be in. What other big RPGs were there? That's always.
I mean, Octopath.
Yeah,
Octopath. There were so many Metroidvanias and stuff. Not as many RPGs.
Yeah,
those are the big ones.
Another one's Pokemon.
Yeah.
Probably not.
If
they can fill the category.
Yeah. I would be pulling for something like Dragon Quest. I feel like that would be a pretty big win, but yeah. I could see Dragon Quest winning that.
I'm sure on all these, I know there's just those games we're forgetting.
Yes. All right. Best, where are we at?
We're at best art direction. There's no runaway like Cuphead.
No, another one I immediately go to Celeste, but I know Celeste will be in there. I could see something like The Messenger even being in there, but then outside of that, I mean, for different reasons, like God of War.
Yeah,
Red Dead.
I'm just
even Assassin's Creed. I mean, all of those could be in there for like kind of a different reason.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So here's the art direction thing from last year again. Cuphead, Destiny 2, Horizon, Persona 5, Zelda.
Yeah, especially even with Destiny 2 and stuff being in there. To me, with so many categories, it's Celeste.
Yeah.
But I don't know what other people would go with.
Yeah, I was thinking God of War being in there.
Yeah. I mean, there's no, like, the big... Oh! I mean, Octopath.
Oh, yeah.
Octopath. Octopath. If Octopath is not at least nominated in that category, there's a problem. Oh, and cycle back to the score. Are we freaking kidding me, or we're idiots? I mean, we talk about music and score. We're freaking morons. Octopath Traveler.
In our defense, listeners, whenever we brought this up before, we've always said Octopath.
We've said it many, many times. Octopath is one of my favorite soundtracks in the video game, period.
I think Octopath has a good chance of winning.
I think Octopath should win. It would be my choice, yeah. Octopath for score, absolutely. Yeah.
Dragon Quest for art direction, definitely. Everyone loves that Akira Toriyama
art. Mean, I can see it nominated. I mean, like, really, legitimately. I think it definitely has a good shot. All right, let's try to wrap this up. Best, are we at narrative? Where are we at? No,
we are at action game.
Oh, so action and action adventure in two different categories.
Exactly, that's the confusing thing.
I can't. There's just too many different.
I'm trying to think just real quick. That top of my head, that would 100% be action. I don't know.
I mean, maybe Hitman 2, like you were saying. Maybe that would be, but
would a Metroidvania game be under that? They got plenty of those.
If so, then I mean, I could see The Messenger definitely winning something there and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Best narrative.
Red Dead will be in there. God of War will be in there. Those are the two like surefire are gonna be in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think something like Celeste would get narrative, but there'd be other ones. I could even see Assassin's Creed being nominated. I don't think it's going to win, but people really like the story in Assassin's Creed.
Weird. I feel like this is going to be one of those things we talk about the end of the year. Not any of those, I feel like, not even just for us, just in general, smaller indie games. Like, at the end, we had a good many of them that we talked about, kind of artsy little indie games.
For these categories in general, you mean?
Yeah, just in general for those. We had a lot of those that filled up these things.
Like What Remains of Edith Finch and all these other...
And Night in the Woods and stuff like that, and I feel like we have that this year.
There was a lot of very, very big...
And Cuphead and Hellblade.
There was a lot of really big AAA games this year, and it kind of took out a lot of things. But there were a lot that we didn't get to play. I mean, like... I don't think it's indie, but Dead Cells and,
Yeah.
Even Hollow Knight I plan to get to.
I mean, fair in general, I don't feel like I've heard as much of those kind of games. You're just listening to people, because people have talked about those games last year I mentioned.
Right.
So, best narrative. Yeah,
I still think it's between God of War and Red Dead, though. I mean, like, we can talk about all these other ones, but I do think that at the end of the day...
For all these, they're going to be ones we think about, like, duh.
Yes, I'm sure.
Best game direction? I don't know, man. This category is whatever.
Yeah.
Rockstar?
Probably, just for especially everything
Rockstar,
they're doing in the world. But even
Santa Monica or Sony?
It's going to be one of... It's, again, going to be between those two, I'm sure.
All right. Ones for freaking,
Jeff.
Game of the year,
Game of the year. This one's a little easier.
We've discussed this a fair amount, so, okay. God of War.
Yes.
Red Dead.
Yes.
Monster Hunter World.
Yes.
Those are the obvious ones.
Spider-Man, potentially. I think it will be nominated. I don't think there's enough other ones that I think would be above it. Those four, and I know talking about Spider-Man that way is weird. This one, I want to say, like, have Celeste be nominated. If there's not enough other things taking its place.
But have enough people played Celeste is the thing.
I mean, people do. I mean, like, it's kind of like, in a very weird way, Celeste is kind of like the Nier of last year. Nier got nominated for Game of the Year.
No, it didn't.
And that's kind of... I thought it did.
None of this thing. Nominees were Zelda, Horizon, Persona 5, PUBG, and Mario.
Weird.
People thought Nier got snubbed.
Oh, yeah, I thought Nier got nominated. I guess Persona 5 was the kind of surprising one there, or the standout, though. I mean, for American audiences and stuff, like, not in quality. I mean, just in recognition. Yeah,
I agree with the four we've named. The fifth one.
The fifth one's in flux. The fifth one could be a bunch of different things. I could see, like, it'd be a big deal for an indie to be nominated for that and stuff.
I guess the question mark is if.
Oh no, sorry.
What are you about to say?
No.
Is if Fortnite counts. And then I'm just going to roll my eyes.
Yeah.
Because for a million reasons that I don't think that should be eligible based on their rules.
I agree.
I think Celeste maybe has a chance if... Also, just kind of with Hollow Knight, I will slightly kind of just be like, because it did come out last year.
Yeah, I
know it got a second wind, but it technically did not come out.
But it's not a game.
It came out last year.
It's a port. I mean, if are we gonna say any port that gets popular,
yeah,
it would be.
And it's not even like a deluxe thing. Like Mario 8 Deluxe probably shouldn't have been nominated for stuff it was last year, but at least it was a different skew.
Yeah, but that is kind of a.
That's like Hollow Knight is just Hollow Knight.
Yeah,
it just happened to be released on things that the gaming media likes.
This is true. All right, Jeff. Well, I'm hungry.
Me too.
Let me get out of here. I mean, we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to wait for Red Dead right now. Clear winner for Game of the Year is God of War. God, it's the last man.
Yeah, for the games we named, it's gonna be God of War, Red Dead.
It is. I mean, it's boring. But
it's just the way it is.
I mean, we could say that from a mile away last year too, where it's gonna be Mario or Zelda.
Yeah,
and it's like Horizon's real good, but it's gonna be Mario or Zelda. And it's like
you
can say the same thing here. Spider-Man's real good. It's gonna be Red Dead or God of War.
Yep.
And
then a surprising twist: Astrobot.
What? But after having 2 in there last year, I don't think Nintendo's going to have any Game of the Year nominees.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
They didn't. Smash, for different reasons, the only thing that will be close as far as people liking.
But not eligible.
Nope. Next year, though. I mean, not for Game of the Year, just in general.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us, and we will see you next time.
We will.
When the blood moon rises.